Welcome back, everybody, to the ACG Dota 2 Championships in Singapore. I'm GoDz. Joining me is Toby.
Yeah, and it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back, and we are progressing ourselves through to the winners bracket final, where we will be having MitH.Trust going up against Mineski. Quickly before, though, we go into our game, because the drama's already underway, I believe we have something to tell everyone who is here as well as at home, too.
Yeah, we're here at the D-Marquee in downtown Eastern Singapore. And for those of you at the event or in Singapore when it comes down, there's going to be a sort of Dota 2 pub stomp later tonight where you can win prizes. You get different games here: Dota 2, Hearthstone, CS:GO, as well as Battlefield 4, and win a bunch of cool prizes. So come on down, check it out.
I might sign up tonight for the Battlefield 4 stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm legendary with a sniper.
I'll take you on in
CS:GO?
I don't know. It's not really my
Challenge
game.
accepted.
After that, I can 1v1 you in Dota to get my confidence back there.
Oh yeah. That's the way I do it. Man, I'm lethal with an AWP. I'm lethal with an AWP. So I just suck at stopping from moving.
Well, this is all for the GE3, who've sort of helped run this event here in Singapore. So
yeah, and because it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot more of that coming up on the weekend too, as we are powering our way through all the games today. We've got a whole lot of best threes, but only 2 for each day.
Yeah.
Coming up on Saturday and Sunday. So
Saturday and Sunday, we get like the cosplay contest. We get a Lodia here. It's definitely worth coming down over the next 2 days. Toby's excited.
It is my heaven, people. It is my heaven. I've been having my fun today with the community and following Dota stuff and spending my entire life savings over at the Dota 2 shop.
Yeah, I'm bankrupt as of today.
You're bankrupt?
I went over there. I'm like looking through my wallet, my bag for like an extra few dollar bills just to like get one more item. One more plushie, please.
Well, man, it's like, can I buy a box? Can I buy? I'm pretty sure I can afford a box. I can afford a box of mini plushies. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. So I did it. Maybe I'll give some of them out later. For now, let's look at our draft, man, because as we said before, we're already progressing through our bans and pick stages. Would you believe the Mirana being banned out in this game? Nyx Assassin also going to follow through. So 2 of the big heroes that Mineski used in our last game not going to appear in this one. The Visage also finding his way into that ban pool. Clockwork and Alchemist. So our 2 big strength guys, the Jump and Initiator, and the all-rounder that can do everything.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by Mineski's picks, but this is not how any other team would draft. Like picking up your solo mid hero and probably your carry hero. Weaver can go into that offlane, but most teams with their first 2 picks get support plus offlaner. Even like 2 supports. You very rarely see your solo mid picked up as well as your carry in the first stage, except for the Alchemist pick, which is usually a solo mid. But that's just because Alchemist is so damn good.
Yeah, and Alchemist can be whatever you want him to be. He's like, you say my name, and it's like, well, what do you want my name to be kind of guy. But Weaver, man, I'm 100% with you as far as offlane. I hate seeing Weavers there. Trixie is one of the very few people that I've seen pull it off, but he's also one of the people that I've seen fail at many, many times. So it's a real rough lane. You need to have ensured farm on a Weaver, and I always put the counter on a Weaver. Like, for me, I'm one of these people that's now just turned myself into, if you have hit your Lincoln Sphere by 22 minutes, then you're on track for a Weaver. If you've hit your Desolator by 28 minutes, you're still on track as a Weaver. But at the same time, MitH.Trust can go, well, he's going to take that long to pick up an item? Great. Let's go kill him. And let's kill him before he hits his key items. Everyone knows the timing of a Weaver. It's been played over and over and over and over again.
I think there's one other timing you're kind of missing, though, is that the early game, like your level 7 timing. Once you hit level 7 as a Weaver, you can actually take part in team fights and do a lot of damage. You go, this is how someone like Zhao Tuji for LGD China loves to get a fast level 7. He'll get the treads up right off the bat, doesn't do any like no boots greedy build, and then he'll fight with his team. Level 4 Shikuchi, if you just stay on the outskirts and are really careful with your positioning, you do a lot of damage in a fight. So I think there's that like small timing when you get your fast levels, and then there's that timing when you get your Lincolns, then your Deso, but there's that awkward like 10 minutes in between where you can't really do much.
It would require then the rest of the team to force the fight up. Like one of those ones which you can have next to your tier 1 tower, so you can just TP him in and then be part of the fight. Like if you take the time to smoke up a Weaver and go roaming and that doesn't work, you lose so much time for that hero.
It's more like a TP in under a fight under a tower.
Yeah,
like you say.
So do we say then tier 1 tower, 10 at 10 p.m., I'll bring the drinks kind of thing, and Weaver will bring the blood. We'll go with that one.
Have a couple of shrimps on the barbie.
No! Oh, my. Dude,
you know,
I've been trying to convince people in Germany that not every Australian walks around going, hey, I'll throw a couple of shrimps on the barbie.
I don't actually eat, not many Australians eat shrimps on the barbie.
No, no one
sausages,
does.
You have some steaks.
Yeah.
Maybe some roast lamb, but not shrimps.
Yeah. Alright, sorry,
I had a good Australian Christmas. I played backyard cricket, had dinner with the family. My grandma got in on the backyard cricket. She's 85, smashed the ball across the road. I kid you not. It was like a reaction shot because it was like this 7-year-old niece of mine that like bowled the ball like directly at her body kind of fast, and she just like reaction like swung it and smashes it over the road. The highlight of my Christmas.
We breed our grannies tough in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, MitH.Trust. Let's get back to Dota. Even though like it had to happen at some point. Let's try and talk about cricket.
You're not a fan of cricket though.
What?
You're not a big fan of cricket.
I'm not a fan of the current cricket. Sorry. If Michael Slater, the Wall brothers were still playing, Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath.
You should be a fan because the
Ricky
Australians
Ponting.
are just destroying the Poms right now.
I don't know any of them. So not interested.
Okay.
Yeah. Back to Dota.
Yeah, back to Dota.
Yeah, down with Poms. Lina and SD being the pick up here from MitH.Trust. So we get disruption into our Light Strike Array combination, and that's some really scary burst damage as well coming out from Lina. At the same time now we get a Rubik on the field, so we've got a lot of good abilities for a Rubik to steal here. He's a nice setup for the Latrak, so both support combinations. It really does reach for aggressive, roaming, ganking. I think we will have our mid fight by about maybe 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes with these two heroes. This is a grab level 2, smoke, rotate, and try and kill. And the DK, you can see MitH.Trust prepping it. DK for the solo mid, Dragon Tail to set up, and it buys the time for SD and Lina to get in.
Myth run a similar draft like every time you'll see them. That's one of their kind of weaknesses, but at the same time it's something they do this draft really well. It's this 2 sort of team fight heroes, and then Lakel's this big carry. They get a solo mid like a Dragonite, an offlaner like a Timbersaw. Normally tanky, hard to kill solos, as well as heroes who just excel in like taking team fights, having big AoE spells, or good setups like a Dragonite, and then the carry will come for Lakel's. His Morphling, his Anti-Mage, his Klink's all taken out, Alchemist isn't there. Options are somewhat limited, so we have to see exactly what that carry is going to be. Even Weaver, one of his heroes, being taken by MineSki, so we look towards something else for him. Maybe a Luna, but that's not a hero like Lakel's is at all known for.
It's also not a hero which I'd like to see combined up with this lineup. Like it has an element of push, but it doesn't. Unless you're going to run SD and Lina as an aggressive tri-lane with it, then you could think along those kind of lines. But they need something a little bit tankier, someone that can just survive on the lane, but can also still combo up with the SD as well as the Lina.
Yeah.
There's still a couple of other options out there. For me, actually, I don't know why, for my mind, it's coming to this, but I'm actually even thinking Gyro. Let Timbersaw go solo, bring the Gyro in, and then you can actually go on aggressive tri-lane with that. Rocket Barrage with an SD disruption set up and a Light Strike Array to hold him in position. Anyone who's caught out by that, be it a Weaver or not, you have a Sentry Ward down, Weaver can't escape from that kind of damage fast enough. Shikuchi or not, he won't escape. Rubik's Telekinesis will be the only thing that will save him just to hurl the Gyro back. But Bristleback, well, there's a techie guy that will do a lot of damage in a fight. It's coming the way of MineSki, which is kind of ironic after our discussion during the last draft for MineSki.
They wait for the very end to pick it up. They were like using all their extra time to think through their options there. They kind of needed a mech buyer hero, which is where maybe Darkseid would have been nice. Bristleback, you can go for the mech as well. You do have some mana problems, but it is definitely possible. So
yeah. Well, we saw it earlier today. We saw mech into Blade Mail.
Yeah. Well, MitH.Trust, one more pick coming their way. And I think the Gyrocopter that you mentioned is probably the closest thing to the perfect pick for this, although... And Rocket Barrage is one of the few good spells at zoning out Bristleback in the early game laning stage. It's high burst damage at level 1. You can really push him out of the lane and prevent him getting any experience or farm.
We'll see if TNK is going to share our point of view. We'll be trying some other kind of different approach towards the Bristleback. He's already be happy enough he's got the Timbersaw in his lineup, and with the controls from SD and Lina, like you can block Bristleback into a corner for a little bit of time at least. But he might be just tossing up other aggressive kind of points of view. Like we already see the Latrak on the field. I wouldn't even mind seeing. I was mentioning it before. Like we'd like to see Yamete go up with the Latrak, but obviously different teams, different game. But that would have been a nice option as well for MitH.Trust, where they could just force fights and push down towers. We already know that whoever's going to be picked up here by MitH.Trust has to make some space in the mid lane. Like I know we're already talking about the ganks coming in towards the middle lane, but once DK hits level 6, if they can pull Invoker off the lane, they're looking good. And Naga's
I kind of like this. I mean, Lakel's has played it before back when Naga was that popular carry hero during the TI2 era, but it gives him a lot of just split push potential and a hero that can cause MineSki some problems, although whether or not he can play it on the similar level to like how we see Miracle play it, or earlier today when Mineski ran Naga Siren really well against StarTale, that's another question.
Yeah. That's a big question who I've answered, man. It's a rough year to try and play, but we'll see how successful it's going to be. I'm still wondering what even the combo they're searching for in Naga Siren.
It's not about the combo. Look, I think that even with the carry Naga Siren you see today, it's completely different to the TI2 carry Naga Siren.
You just use the Naga ulti as a get out of jail free card.
It's not you don't even pick the hero for the ulti. You pick it for that like Rat Dota split pushing. The way we saw Miracle use it so well for Titan.
But if you're going to do that, then it's very reliant on getting a Radiance very quickly.
Yes.
Which means you need the space for Lakels.
If you go back to like the TI2 era, people were not going Radiance first. None of those Naga Sirens at TI2 were going Radiance. They were going for like your Diffusal Blade, your like, I don't know, drums type builds. They were going for more like team fight wombo combo. You go for your Naga Siren, Enigma, Tide Hunter type combos. Nowadays, the way that Miracle plays it, or the way that Tide and Mineski play it, is Naga Siren's never with the team. You're not using Song of the Siren to set up these big AoE combos.
Yep. Well, I'm interested to also see how this goes, because we also look at Naga Siren, one level up in Snap, and you got a combination for the leader. And then you look at SD, it's like, well, SD doesn't need to be there, which means he can start roaming around and maybe even helping the Timbersaw on the bottom lane. If things get rough, like we already saw Timbersaw early today find himself being 0-2 so early on, and that really did hurt. So if that happens once, just TP the SD down, you'll be fine.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how our lanes do pan out for us in just a second once they do get revealed to us. But
yeah, obviously the players are listening, so we are professionals. We do not reveal anything until
we got rid of the players can no longer hear the Dota 2 sounds, which I'm actually really happy about, because like just in the last game there was a couple times where like Mineski would use the Moonlight Shadow to initiate, and with sounds you hear that Moonlight Shadow at
the
sound.
moonlight.
Yeah.
So all that kind of stuff turned off.
No longer can they hear those sounds, but.
All right, so let's check out our lanes. Obviously, the middle lane's always the first one to hit up first, and it's going to be a very, very basic lane as we would expect.
Yeah, two heroes you'd expect there.
Yeah, so they can both see each other. It's going to be the DK going up against the Invoker in the middle lane.
Invoker's sitting back. He's expecting a potential level 1 smoke game. Just until he sees his supports, he does not want to move forward.
There's still some like with Observer wards. Obviously, I know with like Observers and Sentries now, the Sentries don't reveal the smoke anymore, which is a real, I don't know if bug or if just pain in the butt that iStrug wanted to insert to the game. But
I guess making smoke do what like smoke was intended to kind of do, which is be able to smoke gank lanes without being detected.
Yeah, and you can do it, but then again, it kind of like defeats the purpose of Sentries. It literally becomes a dewarder or a direct invis counter, like for bounty hunters and such.
There's so many invis heroes in the game now. Like Sentries are like a key item as it is against your Nyxes, your other heroes like that, and it really is such a big thing to have like some kind of easy detection, especially when you don't want to be buying a gem up.
I'm going to draw a line right now. Invoker, don't cross this line.
Well,
because that's one of those things where like that kind of catch out area, you're in a lot of trouble. But at the same time, like he's in so close. Yeah, now the smoke finally reveals. The timer was running out. They had to try something here.
The creep position was really good for Joven. Like he didn't have to move very far forward to get experience. He didn't contest last hits, and he could just hug the trees like near the bottom of this mid lane, so he didn't actually have to go anywhere up at all. But this Timbersaw doing a lot. Oh, no, he's not doing much, but he actually went for Whirling Death level 1. Of all the spells to get at level 1 against the trial lane, this is normally the last one you'd expect.
Well, I suppose it's better than our Timbersaw from last time. At least this Timbersaw has got some bite behind him where...
He's not getting any experience
top lane. This should be our first blood right here. Vash caught out a long way up.
Lakel's getting the last hit as well. Uh-oh. Don't want to get this guy off to a fast start.
Man, look at his money already. You know what he wants to be building into. This is...
Do you think the Midas? I don't think you go Midas, if that's what you were thinking.
I was actually considering the Midas. On the other end of that, I was also considering just like basic Tranquils. Tornado set up in the middle lane. Now the Cold Snap follow-up. Telekinesis drop down to Latrank stun. Edict's going to be there too. So AABBAA is going to go down here in the mid. So it goes a 1-1 trade. Mineski, some smart rotations in towards the mid after the mid rotation from MitH failed.
Yeah. Myth get the first blood, but Mineski getting kills on solo mids earlier is always more important than killing the offlaners. Offlaners are kind of already built to be expendable. If your offlaner dies once or twice in the first 5-10 minutes of the game, it's never really that costly. But losing your mids early on to smoke ganks and rotations generally matters a lot more.
I can't take my eyes off Lakel's right now, because I know he's losing so much life up here in the top lane, but I also see him just racking in the gold.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of last hits. Not as much as Weaver. Weaver's just managed to pin him a little bit at the post right there. But Jules, you expect a basic build out from him. The question is, does he use the Midas to try and advance his timing and levels? That's my only question in the evolution of the build. I know a couple of teams prefer to try and run BKB into Desolator over on him, but with this kind of lineup from MitH.Trust, Lincoln Sphere is kind of almost essential.
Yeah, the BKB or Lincolns generally depends on the lineup you're against. If you're against something like a Puck who has spells which just negate Lincolns, like your Blink, Waning Rift, your Dream Kill, all these don't get affected by Lincolns, you need to go for the BKB, but like these spells can mostly be blocked.
Oh, he just, that was really, really lucky right there for Timbersaw, because he leveled up by coming in close.
From the neutrals.
He hit level 3 from being close enough to the neutrals, so while Jay threw him away, and up on top of the hill, he's able to level up and Timber Chain down, so no wasting of anything, no wasting of time.
Yeah. Well, he's hit level 3, meanwhile, your Bristleback is still level 1. That is worrisome for
How
Mineski.
is he not found? Like,
he should be able to get. He gave up the first
middle lane. They're gonna have a crack here again at AABBAA, but they missed the stun. Lashrike Split Earth was off target. The Edict's gonna be there, and he's being cold snapped up, and they're gonna go again. Disruption coming in from TNK. It's not gonna be enough. It gives him one more breathe fire at least. So Invoker's not looking that healthy. But 4 heroes rotate in there, and they end up spending a little bit longer than they really intended to. And boom. Called it.
It just it slows down your radiance. I don't know how the math would work, but I'm pretty sure this will ultimately slow down your radiance, and then like slowing down your radiance could mean less farm. It would mean more levels, but I think it'll mean like either similar or even maybe less farm ultimately.
See, in this game, I'm wondering if radiance is even the best thing.
It reminds me of like Midas Antimate, because like you get you get Midas on Antimate, it's like you're slowing down your battle free, which is what accelerates your farm. It's a similar thing with the Radiance on Naga Siren. It's what accelerates your farm so much.
For me, I'm wondering if it's just going to be Naga Siren going out with Midas, going a casual Yasha, going almost like Aoi kind of like farming style, and then going into Diffusal Blade. And maybe getting a drums along the way, but the Midas allows him to go in for this very mid-game orientated. And I'm thinking this just because I'm considering what's going to shut down the Bristleback even more right now. If you start adding mana burn onto your basic attacks from everything, then he's going to be sitting there with no mana to cast anything during a team fight. He doesn't have gold that allows him to like have items that make up for the gap in levels right now, which is another big problem of him. And then you got Weaver. Weaver, who's going to be trying to go, like, he does have this Hand of Midas. It's going to take him time as well. But once he has that Lincoln Sphere up and running, you just start burning off the mana. You don't care about your initial stuns that you control. You take away that mana from Weaver, you take away his maneuverability.
Yeah. I think when you see your opponents get Midas, you can get away with the Midas a lot better, because often if you're MitH.Trust and you see Weaver go for Midas, it means he can't fight. He didn't go for the treads. He doesn't have like a magic wand and a TP scroll. He can't come to fights, which means, hey, you can force the issue at towers and take these little clashes, but they decide we're going to go greedy ourselves.
Oh, Timbersaw. He was doing such a good thing on that bottom lane. He's going to chain himself away. TNK TP's in just in case. But you might notice that basically Greenpeace has an issue with the jungle down here. He basically cut it up so he could stay close enough to gain the experience. The crew ain't moved up too far, so he just rotated himself back out again. And Rubik kind of felt something was wrong, but Rubik was like on the other side of the trees from him. If he poked his head through the trees and down and had a bit of a looky, he would have realized what was going on.
Yeah. Well, Naga Siren, Lakel still farming away. I'm kind of wondering about the Invoker. He's gone for the Quaz Wex build, so he's going to have the Tornado EMP, which is partly because heroes like Dragonite, Timbersaw are very prone to getting mana burned down, and if they don't have their mana pull on them, they cannot offer a whole lot in mid-game clashes.
It's kind of amazing looking over at the graphs, just how close, like, all of the games on this main stage have been during the very, very start.
Like, no very lucky.
No one's really been stretching any massive advantage until the mid game really starts kicking in. When things like this happen, like top T1 tower now goes the way of Naga Siren, and the monies just starts to roll in. And we need a pause coming out from MitH.Trust. Take a tower, need to have a sip of champagne, and then get back to business. But the amount of money which is going to come in from Myth, their timing's still looking pretty damn good. Weaver, obviously, with such an insanely high CS for himself and running the Hand of Ice as well, his levels are coming up really, really fast. And more importantly than that, he should be hitting his correct timing for the Lincolns, maybe even a little bit beforehand. Just because he's got so much space and so much farm.
Yeah,
I can feel this minus actually pays off for him a bit better.
It could be like a 20-ish minute Lincolns. It'll depend a bit, like, do you go through the treads, do you want the magic one? I think Jules is going to play pretty greedy. He'll sometimes completely skip the boots. He could even have like a Desolator before he even buys regular boots. Like,
well, there's no reason to buy boots up on a Weaver. You go no boots Weaver and Shikuchi.
It depends. Like, I mean, the straight treads is actually really nice with the attack speed as well as just the tread switching.
Good point.
So, I think if you're going to get boots, you want to get the treads. There's no point getting like brown boots on their own.
Agreed.
I think as standalone, just normal boots, it's kind of a waste of money, but it's definitely worthwhile getting treads.
That's still a decent investment. Like, that's basically taking away most of your perseverance if you buy it. So you got to make sure that's going to be worth it. But if no one's going to gank you up on the bottom lane and you're not looking to push up the towers, then you don't need to buy that kind of stuff. Because you don't need your attack speed. You just look for the last hits and use Shikuchi to escape up ganks or use time-lapse to escape up ganks. And then you got the Lincoln Sphere and then you can go into your treads. So, like, remember it was, I think it was Black, who was the guy who always was like, you know, I'm never going to buy boots.
Envy did it as well with Weaver, I believe. I think Envy does it quite a lot.
Envy started doing that, and then he switched to a different style of build, which I was like, yes, applauding. It was in the age of the Weavers who would appear at 35 minutes and then do something. And Envy's just like, wait, no, I have time-lapse, so I can be very aggressive on the Tier 1 towers, and you get phase boots. And with a phase boost, your damage is increased, but more importantly, you've got this double bump of speed.
It doesn't go for the phase boost as much anymore. I think he kind of went off that
anymore.
A little bit.
It was a phase.
Yeah. Oh, you. Well,
I would like have a drum kit and snare, but I forgot to actually pack one.
Big neutral set. This is Jesse Vash catching up. You can see he's hit level 3.5, and this is helping out a lot, but he's not getting all the experience.
Oh.
He's sharing the experience with his teammate.
And he's going to die. And is he? Wait, is he? There's stuns flying out. I'm pretty sure he could have got that. I would not bet on my res, but
it was.
He had 230 life points.
He wanted to wait a little bit longer.
He would have needed like 2 attacks on the front side. That's what he would have needed.
Yeah.
The Whirling Death and the Timber Chain. If it was like a level 2 Timber Chain, 100% gone.
The other thing is they may have realized he's there because they're like, hey, wait, we're not getting as much experience as we should be.
Yeah.
If they do the math, like some mental math, they could figure it out that, hey, someone's leashing.
It just means you got to watch very, very closely. And no, he's been doing that all the time. But still, top lane, we see Naga Siren's build. And I am disappointed.
Lekels is absolutely in love with Lincolns. For some reason, he will get this item like all the time, any game, any hero. He loves Lincoln. I don't know what it is.
It's just so greedy. It's just so greedy. In saying that, like, it's not even going a build that allows him to farm faster and then like be the epitome of greed. It's greedy because he says, I've got all the time in the world. Yeah. And that's the dangerous thing. Tornado's going to fly in, EMP as well. Naga's going to get this ulti off. And with Intelligence pick up and drop down with the Fade Bolt from Rubik at level 3. And it's a guaranteed kill for Mineski. And they're walking quite confidently across this map.
Yeah. It's greedy, and at the same time, it's like just not as effective as going for the Radiance build. The Radiance build is even greedier, but it's an effective one because of how much it accelerates your farm and how much you can split push around the map with your illusions. Your illusions with the Lincoln Sphere, they can't split push, they can't farm neutrals. I mean, Riptide is one thing, but you need the Radiance burn damage on your illusions to properly farm neutral camps and split push lanes.
Yeah. It's just a different version of greed.
Yeah.
You're either greedy for time or you're greedy
like
for money.
This is what we saw like at TI2. I remember Ice when he would play Naga Siren as a carry back then, would love this Lincoln's first build, but
Ice always needed insurance whenever he played.
Yeah. It's MitH.Trust still their options. They've only got the 1 kill on the board, but they're getting decent farm. Their offlane Timbersaur's doing pretty well. He's managed to leech a lot of experience, hitting level 5.5. And Bristleback is not really offering a whole lot right now to Mineski.
No. He's not even level 6 yet. Like, we're approaching 11 minutes into this game, and we have a just level 5 Bristleback. Okay, that might help a little. This can actually help a lot.
Second time this game we've... MineNeski have just been fairly efficient, even though they're playing a little bit as far as... They're behind a tiny bit on the gold graph. It's always somewhere there's neutral stacks, there's somewhere to farm, and... Like, they're hitting levels on their support heroes. Like, all their support's getting a decent amount of experience.
Actually, check out they're doing this. Like, this is actually some really, really smart thing, but at the same time, like, a Bristleback heads up towards top lane to farm up. Goodbye. Oh, wait.
No detection.
That was late. That was very, very late. Way too late. When you got movement speed like Shikuchi, you need to pop that thing before you even start the gank. Which is what just failed there from MitH.Trust. A smoke movement into the Radiant jungle and off target.
Yeah, and Jules saw the dust get popped. He knows he can go back in. He's like, they don't have another dust. They don't have sentries. They can't actually fight this Weaver right now.
Bugs couldn't latch on anybody. But he's going to come up and start attacking on the Timber Saw. But with Timber Chain away, maybe a little bit too aggressive to start with Tornado. Oh, it does catch the Lina, but they're going to dive in pretty deep. That EMP with the Cold Snap. Invoker will take the kill. The Chakram flew back out again. And MineNeski, they needed that kill to make that rotation worthwhile.
Yeah, I feel like they could have almost got more there, but Jules kind of scared them away when he went back in and missed that swarm. It's like, okay, we're going to get away. The swarm's here. You throw that swarm and it's basically saying, hey, we want to go in and get aggressive. So the two supports backed off, and it kind of revealed the fact that Invoker was, in fact, ganking. But MineNeski get a kill. They're getting a lot of farm all over the map. The one threat is Lakel's always on that carry Naga Siren, but to me, they're winning mid lane as well as bottom lane right now.
Yeah. Well, return back into the lanes for DK at least. Haven't seen him add enough pressure towards that middle tower. I say that while sitting in half-life. But with Dragon form available for him. Tornado coming in from MineNeski again. Telekinesis. They're going to drag him back. Light Strike Array. That was in fact stolen from the Rubik, and now...
Yeah. They don't have the damage. Like, Rubik, Invoker, neither hero with much damage output on their own. When you're in non-Exort Invoker, that is.
Yep.
So... If you want to go for kills with Invoker, you need 3-4 heroes. They need the Leshrac there, but put some pressure on the DK. He did have a haste room, which he didn't even need to pop there, so he can just use that. He's got the full bottle charges. He can actually look to sort of get more active on the map now.
Yeah. And Ruby's got all the time in the world up in that top lane to farm up, while it seems like Invoker's also got a lot of space. And this bottom lane has basically become completely vacant. In fact, all of the Dire side is missing right now, and that's going to flag some big warning bells.
Yeah, they don't even know where Lakel's is. He could look to join up with his team, use the song to sort of set up these fights when he's going for this Linken's build, but... MitH.Trust and MineNeski just both playing this like game of cat and mouse, both kind of looking for one another, and no one really sure who's hunting who right now.
Well, I can be pretty sure that the hunt will continue at least. There's a 14-minute rune's going to spawn up, which means people are going to go searching for that. But MitH.Trust, they've wasted a lot of time outside their lanes. Like, even with Rubik moving up towards that top lane and finding his farm, like, he found an extra level for his efforts.
Yeah, it's all fairly costly for them. Heroes like Dragonite, Timbersaw, they do generally need a decent amount of farm come mid-game time, so they're spending a lot of time off the map not farming can be quite costly for them.
Bristleback, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it while it lasts. He's actually almost finished with the mech, which is kind of good for him.
Yeah.
But one thing that's not great for somebody is Naga Siren. EMP burn's going to go. He got the ulti off. It burned up every bit of his mana, however, so there's nothing left to play with. But Lakel's, the fact he managed to get the ulti off, means he's out to safety. Home and host.
Yeah. A 3-minute cooldown used, but that was a MineNeski 4-man smoke gang, so they were really hoping for the kill there. Lakel, it's worth using that ultimate, obviously, to save your life, and actually it was a 2-minute cooldown. He's level 2 ulti now. So, even better for MitH.Trust. That's not really any sort of a loss for them, and they're pressuring mid lane now. Bristleback's there, but defending against the Dragon and ulti form with the corrosive attack is difficult to do so.
He's going to start attacking, though. There's no level on Snot. The Tornado's a little bit on target there from the Invoker, and with more support rotating in from the SD as well as Lina. Oh, they're going to force stuff. Telekinesis in back. There is no follow-up to this that will work with the Destruction. Maybe there was a chance, but Leshrac couldn't pounce on it fast enough. And the Weaver did come in. That was out. It's 5 minutes late. We said 10 minutes, and it came at 15 minutes where Weaver's just like, yes, my time to get kills. But it just failed.
Yeah, he comes in, he's, I guess, maybe worried about whether or not bottom lane was safe, but now the supports show themselves mid. He knows bottom lane, once again, should be a fairly safe place to finish off that Lincoln Sphere, which, you say 22 minutes, it's looking like we may see a little bit faster than that if he can just keep on farming uninterrupted. So he should be in a really good place right now, but that's coming, of course, at the trade for Lakel's farm. Both these two carriers getting a lot of uncontested farm.
Run away there from Timbersaw, but then again, Weaver took more damage than he did. So that's not a great thing for him.
Yep.
But at the same time, Weaver's still walking around with a very close to Lincoln Sphere. I say very close. He's just edging it.
Yeah. But right now, MitH.Trust, they've got a ton of farm on the Kells, but looking at their second and third heroes as far as net worth goes, both DK and Timbersaw are kind of struggling. Like, you're looking at less farm, a decent amount less farm than your Invoker. And your Bristleback, who really struggled in the offlane, is actually doing okay now with this mech. He's caught up very quickly.
Yeah. It's the beauty about Bristleback. Once you crack that level 6, you're good. And the stacking really, like, that was the major thing. The fact that he could take what was basically a quad or I think it's even more than that. I think it was a 5-way stack. It was big. It was big. 17-minute Lincoln Sphere coming in for, like, that's really, really good timing. And Jules, he's still working his way towards it. They both went for very, very similar builds.
Well,
I can say almost, actually, yeah, almost identical. It's just that
Jules has the treads, I guess.
Yeah, that's his trade-off right now.
One of that little bit of extra survivability from the HP, and you get some more down to the attack speed. And MineNeski are pressuring this bottom tier 1 tower, but Chakram can just come out, slow them down, and it's Lakel's is just going to continue farming away in the neutrals and getting a decent amount of farm up on himself. And with the Lincolns now, at this point it becomes very difficult to gank. You can't use that telekinesis as a sort of initiation to chain stun him down with, and they haven't really got good initiation without that. The only other way they can maybe do it is a tornado into a split earth, but that is very hard to time.
I like this build coming out from Invoker though. Like, if you start bringing Orchids into the mix up against heroes like Timbersaw, he's going nowhere. Naga's not a BKB style hero. So you can use the 4-star to trigger the Lincolns on her and then go into the Orchid, and then you have your control over your Naga Siren.
Yep. Right. Bottom tier 1 tower looks like we'll go down here one way or another, whether it's denied or last hit we'll have to see. Actually, Glyph going to stop it going down.
He's going to stick with this. The Catapult's going to bring it into deny range anyway, so Jules has to... Yes.
You got to get those. Those are tower last hits which you should be able to either time with your get closer so your Gemini attack like hits twice instantly, or time it with the siege creep, which he just did not do.
Yeah. So problems when you lose that much gold. It's not really going to make it even better for him on the grass. But then again, as we always say,
that was his Lincolns if he gets that last hit. But
that's true. It would have been too.
It's not
and he may kind of want that. Like, you got top lane, and Naga is not letting up the pressure here. Yeah. These illusions come in, they can just riptide up, and that kind of damage as well. Dishing it over to the Bristleback is not a fun place to be in. Then again, okay, now they finally use it. Bristleback's out of range. So, well done. Yeah, but Lakel's looks like he wanted to get himself deeper into his own.
Yeah,
before he tried it.
He could go back for the Radiance. Like, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to go back for the Radiance, but the fact he didn't go for it first kind of normally says, okay, he doesn't want to go for it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad item even at this stage, just because of the fact he can split push, he can farm neutrals a lot faster.
I'd still like to see the Diffusal Blade with a casual Yasha.
Yeah. Like, with the Lincoln Sphere, it kind of suggests more that he's going that item route.
Yeah.
He hasn't upgraded his boots, which normally as a Naga, you get those treads really early, so... Is he thinking, like, get some boots of travel and really play a split-pushing Naga Siren, or...? I'm not too sure.
Well, I'm going to be sure of one thing right now. With smoke movement, they're going to find Rubik. Starting off with a Purge. Dragon Tail, well, it's going to hit after with a 4-star away, managing to push that Rubik back out to safety. And AABBAA is having a great time. Cole snapped up, he's bugged up too. And they've got to get rid of that disruption quickly. Nice line strike array, but in comes the Timbersaw. The DK, he's still on the run out of this one, but it's not on the back of him, as well as the bugs, as well as the extra attacks coming from the Weaver. There was just no way to escape from that one. And MineNeski goes 6-1. Top lane still trying to push out Invoker. He's got 4-star for Cold Snap. He's going to have to trigger up the Lincoln Sphere to start with, and then 4-star himself back in range of his own tier 1 tower.
Yeah, really nice fight. Why that from the Dragon Knight?
Naga near that ulti off. She neared that ulti off instantly. Now she's going to get it. 3 heroes to be caught in the middle of this. One's up on the high ground, 2 down the river. Who do they focus here? Dust to start with. They want the Weaver by the looks of it, but that's a really rough kill to try and take. Now the extra support rotates in. Timber Chain really hurts down Jules. They're very low on life with the MineNeski boys, and that's where you see Sharkram is burning him. Finally, he gets the Shikuchi off cooldown, so able to run TNK in the meantime, dying upriver, while the Laguna Blade thrown out there by SD, able to get a revenge kill over towards the Leshrac, and they just keep split firing this one up. Bash following up the DK, breathe fire, and there's a jump, it's a triple kill coming the way of the ever so shut down Bristleback, keeping up with the Snot. He's staying clear of the tree line, so the Sharkram can't pick him off, and now it's going to be a kill going the way of Jay. 4 heroes going the way of MineNeski, and for the price of just the Leshrac.
That could have gone a lot better for Myth. That song setup ended up not even being a setup for them. They went on the Weaver there, and the problem was Leshrac hit a 2-hero stun. They were trying to chain the Dust into Dragon Tail, because Weaver gets the Shikuchi off before the Dragon Tail because of just that split second he has to react, but he couldn't get the Dragon Tail off because Leshrac got the stun on both of them. That Leshrac just saved the fight with that one split earth. It was just completely game-changing there. And with that, MineNeski get themselves, I would say, fairly convincingly ahead. They'll get the T1 tower to fall. I say they will. They're all quite low, but Naga Siren has no ulti. Shadow Demon's the only other hero alive, so this T1 mid tower should go down, and then MineNeski have a lot of map control going their way.
Yeah. And when MineNeski get map control, they take Rushans, they take more map control, and then they take fights, and then they take Throne. That's the way this lineup works. And
taking Throne, we saw against Titan, even when they had complete map control, all the towers in the game, Roshan, Aegises, Cheeses, took them a long time.
That's true, it did. But the difference is with this, they have a Bristleback that can stand the front lines and tank. Like, you just gave that guy a triple kill. He's walking so around with so much money right now.
Everyone from that fight got really rich because they, like, the entire MineNeski team stayed alive in experience and gold range. So your Weaver with the completed Lincolns, his Deso will be up pretty fast. Your Invoker, you mentioned the Orchid. If he wants to get that, could be very soon. And even your Rubik, the 4-staff, the Blink Dagger, whatever he wants.
I'm still not counting out the effect of the Leshrac. Like, you're talking about all these like great initiators, controllers, damage dealers, and then you got Leshrac who just basically dawdles himself in with 4 points up an Edict and takes out a tower while the rest of his teammates are fighting. Like, that's the kind of support hero he is. He can just do that kind of thing, which is why I'm saying, like, if MineNeski win a team fight once that tier 2 tower is down, they take a Rax, just because of the pushing power that comes from Leshrac.
I think this is a kind of game where if MitH.Trust lose another team fight as badly as they just did, it's probably all over for them. Even if they don't lose Raxes right there, the deficit will just get huge. They'll lose all their outer towers, they'll lose Roshan, and like you say, this kind of a lineup for MineNeski, if they get complete map control, should be pretty good. At the same time, that Miracle-style Naga Siren split pushing is one of those things which can win when you're down 15, 20,000 gold, as we've seen.
You still need Radiance to do that, though, which means he doesn't go for the build, which has been telegraphing. But the fact he hasn't purchased an item yet...
It looks like he probably is going for the Radiance.
It does look that way. And it might almost be, I'm not going to say desperation kind of attempt, but it might be, we're running out of options, let's do the split push. Like, it's always, I'm not going to say a get out of jail free card in a way. Normally it's like you have to extend your time in jail and maybe you can get out on parole. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Like, it's a lot of work to be done. And MitH.Trust, we're still waiting for our player to get back inside the game. I'm not quite sure what's wrong on the main stage. I'm not seeing anyone running around right now up there, so it looks like we got to pause. I didn't hear
that either, Toby.
I didn't hear or understand what we were just told that something just went wrong. Oh, wait, we're coming back to get the message again.
Oh, okay. Sounded like he's getting a new graphics card.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's a nice upgrade.
Yeah. A new prize for him.
So they're actually pulling his computer apart right now and putting a new graphics card.
Maybe.
Well, I suppose perks of the job. The wonders.
We've had some fantastic day of games today. A couple pauses here or there, but the games have been well worth the wait. Has been the key
definitely.
thing.
I think I came up to you like after like 2 games ago, like, man, like, there was a lot of pauses in that game, but it was still, yeah.
We had that the second game of the day when we had that base race, I was like, wow, we've had 2 great games today. And then third and fourth game. Well, third game just as good. Fourth game we're in now. Probably the most one-sided game so far, but it's sort of so one-sided that MitH.Trust are out of it just yet.
Yeah. Whenever you get like someone like a Naga and a DK up your sleeve, I never want to count anybody out. And their killing potential is also through the roof. If that Lincoln Sphere gets triggered early on, and then you get Catcher into Laguna Blading with the Breathe Fire and the Riptide and the Whirling Death, you can mop up that Weaver or even the Bristleback rather quickly.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of work. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen.
Yeah, MineSki looking, I mean, they're excelling in the fact that they've got 3 heroes that have to be dealt with because of their items. Your Bristleback, your Weaver, your Invoker. For MitH.Trust, they've got just one, really. It's Naga Siren. Your Dragon Knight and your Timbersaw both are lacking in items. Your Timbersaw's got a mech. That's going to chew through even more of his mana pool, although it's still a nice little pickup. And then your Dragon Knight
might get more of his mana pool depending if he wants to finish up the treads or not. Because I'm looking at that build of strength going, I wonder if that's Necros to try and push high ground. I know it's a very unconventional item to try and go on a Bristleback. The normal thing would be like, well, let's go in for like a little bit more straight up disable. Let's look at something like having a Heaven's Halberd. Let's finish up our treads. Let's get the Vanguard up as well. Maybe go full team fight and just go, I'm going to grab the pipe for my team kind of thing. It could be the method to go from Bristleback. Rod of Atos. I always wish more people would pick that up.
I don't think Necrobooks completely crazy if they want to end the game siege high ground. Like Heaven's Halberd, there's not really, you don't need the evasion or the disarm against any of these heroes. Naga Siren has illusion, so.
Well, the good news is we're backing up and running again.
Yeah.
And of course, that's also bad news for MitH.Trust Tier 1 Tower. That is destroyed.
Oh, Weaver as well, so that's like halfway to his Desolator practically right now.
Ooh. Well, you talk about going high ground. We saw the Desolator effect coming in from Jules on his Mirana, and he even refused to give it up. To the bitter end, he refused to give it up. But it's also a very powerful ability. So he's gonna say hello to Lakel's here on the bottom lane. It's one of the heroes where Lakel's, Lincoln's doesn't help him. It doesn't help him at all.
And you can get away from a Weaver and harass him down, use the illusions and whatnot, but once Weaver has a Desolator, that's where, if that was a Desolator there, that's almost a kill on the Naga, so.
Yeah. I'm still looking at Invoker. Has he bypassed his next item? Because he's still been walking around with the Sage's Mask, which what I thought was just going to be an Orca. I know you talked about the possibilities of it too, but when he's walking around with that much money, I'd almost lean to going Scythe of Ice.
Yeah. I think you want the Hex just so you can disable Naga before the sleep comes off and pick off the Naga when she's alone split pushing.
Yeah.
You can break the Lincolns fast with a Force Up and then immediately Hex. Or use it like long range Tornado.
Got a lot of pressure being applied up here on the top lane. If we had even a single point up in Exort, I'd say look for the Forge Spirits. That's not even the case with this Invoker.
He's got to go back to the Exort, like I would say about now. Like 4 points of Quaz is about right. I don't think he needs more, but...
Well, this mid-tower push didn't really work. Tornado into EMP. AABBAA is basically completely out of mana, and they're going to try and stop. Mid-tower's within deny range. TNK, Mind Strike Array, a little bit of miscommunication coming out here from MitH.Trust. They're going to lose the SD here in the middle lane. When you got 3 layers of snot on you, you are going to go down.
Yeah, I think he was just sort of the sacrificial lamb for the team. Like, they wanted to make sure the Dragon Knight could get out of there. They're okay losing the Shadow Demon, but...
Yeah.
Tier 1 tower gets down very low, and MineSki just have to leave it up.
His vision, I don't think, was big enough. he didn't see it.
It gets denied. Owa goes back for it. He gets denied. Meanwhile, Jules' top lane. Is this Tier 2 tower goes down? I mean, he got a Tier 1 mid, he got a Tier 2 top. That should be more or less his Desolator.
He still needs a little bit more.
Yeah.
He still needs a little bit more, but one man who's like, we do get what we were searching for.
25 minutes, I think we may see a Desolator.
It's quick, man. It's quick, but this is also that power you have when you have a Weaver on a team which is taking towers. Like, it doesn't matter how much you lose yourself. When you're taking out those buildings and getting the bonus goal from that, and it's rough to contest up against.
All right, we're online for Naga Siren.
Yeah.
The item that I'm sure MineSki will see coming out very soon. No surprise for them. They've seen a very naked Naga Siren for some time.
You can see it coming out soon. Jill's already get out of my lane. This belongs to him for now. Yeah, and then the Radiance will come in and it'll be like, oh, Naga, this belongs to you now. And then we see Desolator. It's like, oh, now this belongs to MineSki again. And so the circle of Dota continues.
I mean, Radiance Naga Siren, and he's already got the. I mean, you want to go for that Linken's after the Radiance normally, just so you can have that protection from hexes, from the Orchids, from whatever it may be, telekinesis. So it is a nice little pickup, nice pickup to have regardless. But it just slowed down his farm. If you got the Radiance first, he would have his Linken's now and already be like halfway to his Manta maybe. So
yeah,
he'll get that Manta fast enough as it is, and he definitely wants to go for that because Orchid on the Invoker, it's a good way of stopping sleep being cast. But once there's a Manta on Naga Siren, you get rid of that. That's where Hex is better than the Orchid.
Yeah. Basically, he has to go for both. But it looks like he's also trying to go into the drums at the same time, which is a bit of a tall ask right now. And SD surviving is a bigger ask. It's not going to happen. Orchid's, in fact, even going to be used right now. Weaver's the one to take the kill. And you see that defensive tornado going up the hill, just in case.
I think it was trying to KS. I think he wanted to KS it.
Really?
Yeah. I think he was looking for the kill. He's like, I want this kill, guys.
Might be easier ways to do that. Wow, I give him props right now to Bash. This is... Wow. Yeah.
Oh, is he going for...
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, he's been saving gold for some time.
Yeah, that he has.
The few times I've seen this, it generally hasn't worked out too well. It's either been a team who's really far ahead and it didn't matter, or the games where it's been close, it hasn't always gone that well. I mean, right now, Mineski are ahead, but...
It's funny because most of the time you don't need this.
Yeah.
Okay. When he finally shows himself on lane, let's make sure we come back to this. Because I have a point, but we need to actually say the item and the hero in order to really put it down there.
Uh-oh. Jules has his Desolator. He's going to be pressing this. I think towers just dropped now. I don't think MitH.Trust can fight into this. No, you can't use the song as a setup because you haven't got that Darkseer or Enigma to follow it up, so it's just a Dragon Tail, and that's only one hero. Jules has a Linken, so he can't be the hero you Dragon Tail after the sleep, and I think Jules just does too much damage for MitH.Trust to try and take this team fight.
If they got the Naga sleep off when 3 heroes are all standing on top of each other, then yeah, you're good to go.
Phoenix, Desolator, then T2 Tower.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, Tornado's going to go up as well with the EMP. You're already seeing TNK. That's a nice jump in from Jay, dragging him back down again. They will get that kill. They're using the Orchid rather early on. Naga's illusions are really causing some life issues for Mineski. But then Meg Charge, they're taking the tier 2 tower, they're taking a support hero. This is just going through the motions right now for Mineski.
They can go objective to objective. They can either go for Roshan or they can go for that tier 2 tower bottom. They can look to fall back and farm their neutrals. They're just being much more efficient than their opponents. So regardless of what they choose to do, whether they're pushing, just farming neutrals or going for Roshan, either way they're getting further and further ahead.
We got a little fearless bunny. He's got teeth and all. Checking out the pit. Lashrak, they use Laguna to bring him down. But then again, Lakel's forced up the way. He's getting earned, he's getting snapped up, and now Vash, he's trying to keep up with the rest of them. He has to move off to the right. That's Chakram coming out perfectly from the Timber Saw, and DK, whoa.
Naga pulled backwards, he's trying to go in for a flank from behind. Has
trouble.
The siren.
Find him! There's the snare. They got Jules. The Aegis the Immortal will have to trigger now.
Jovin's in position for a tornado.
And it's going to go straight through, well, almost all of them. It finds the Naga illusions, but Jules, they lock him down even longer. 67 seconds is how long he was put on the sideline for.
Yeah. Nice kill there. Jovin tried to force staff himself up there, but he accidentally forced like he was in the trees like by the Roshan pit and forced up rather than sideways. And if he got in there with a tornado EMP and then like a deafening blast, they could have turned that around, but slightly misdirected the force staff, which is, I mean, always hard to do when you're in like trees and fog like that.
Yeah. For me, I would say right now it was better that he didn't get up the hill. Because if he did and that went us over,
I think
they would have lost.
If he got up there, I think they could have won that. Like 2v3, 2v4 with a tornado EMP. That's, like, Invoker and Weaver right now are really forces to be reckoned with, but...
I would still cut my losses on that and play defense.
The Tornado almost can save the Weaver there, but Weaver picks up a Mithril Hammer. He's thinking about one thing, and that's staying alive in these fights with the BKB.
Yeah, it's an essential thing. It really is. There's enough stuns and controllers, and he wants to negate most of what Timbersaw's going to try and dish out to him. But more importantly, he doesn't want to get burst down by that Laguna Blade again. It's with the Breeze Fire and all of that magical damage, you've just got to keep away from it. Like, Lashrak's already having a hard enough time as it is. He can't crack over 1k life points, let alone survive that kind of fight. And that's why I'm looking for Bristleback to have some kind of life points on him. Like, it's the danger of going a Radiance Bear.
I mean, you may consider like a BKB of his own even, or like just to stay alive from all these burst damage nukes.
He could go BKB. In this game, I'm wondering if it's better to try and go into a halberd.
I don't know. And I say that no one really worth halberding.
Yeah,
like, Naga Siren isn't like a right-click damage hero. It's like Riptide, Radiance, burn damage.
Yeah, you got a point on that one.
It's
the main thing I'm just considering right now is something with life points and lets him survive.
Heart of TobiWan could be great. Like just get 4 HP. Yeah. I think either raw HP or the magic immunity is going to be where he goes. And well, we'll see what MitH.Trust look to do. The pick up on the Weaver helps them out a lot. They're still really far behind, but we've seen this Naga Siren just turn games around. And that's something which MineNski, they know all too well. They've been on the side who've used the Naga Siren in the past to turn games around. So they're aware of this hero's power.
Yeah. So don't waste any time whatsoever. Lecals just takes you all. Man, he's got so much money already. Oh, at 30 minutes in, I still can't believe he's beaten the net worth of the Weaver. That's probably the scarier thing right now for fans of MineNski. Well, MitH.Trust do have so much to play around with.
It's more you look at, to me, when MineNski are ahead, you look at the number 3, number 4 in that net worth. All MineNski heroes in the top 4. Yep. And they're so far ahead of your Dragon Knight. Timbersaw is even behind the support Rubik. That's where MitH.Trust have one hero farming and farming a ton, but their other heroes are just struggle town right now.
Yeah. But at the same time, that one hero that's farming up a ton, once tanky, is unstoppable. Even with Bristleback and Weaver, you're going to lose everyone very, very quickly, which is why MineNski have to try and make a play. They have to try and scout out and find people, and they got him perfectly. Timbersaw, primary target. Timberchain can't use it. Orchid it up, and they're going to get Cole snapped up as well. So they're trying to leave Marsh to take care of him, which he will do so. While a little bit further down, the Mana Burn was over on TNK. Lightstriker in a nice position on the Invoker, with the Meg Charge behind him. Tornado will fly through as well as of the DK. And Invoker, he needs a 4, starting to get himself away from this one. There's the first one. Now jumps Invis, but ST. The poison was enough and helping out. Now there's a little bit more trouble. The Shrag, oh, the big stun!
He went for the Lina. He got a stun off it. He wanted to just get a couple right clicks off and couldn't go get it, but
that was 25 life points. It was like one right click back.
You kill a Lina and you pay for it with your life. It's not worth it as a less track because you're more farmed and important than this Lina. So that was silly. Silly plays from MineNski, and they are looking to counter push this bottom lane, but that's the exact fight MitH.Trust were waiting for.
Yep, this gives them a big, big gap here. So you put Naga on the front lines, and then AABBAA is right behind him. What have we got stolen? We got a mirror image, in fact, stolen. And now they're going to try and snot up over on the DK. Ensnare, turn around, they're considering it, but with Breathe Fire still on cooldown, they wouldn't have had the straight up burst damage.
They want to chase this because they saw 3 heroes bottom. They're trying to get this pick off, but the Falstaff on cooldown. Force, telekinesis. Ooh,
you can see him stop to do it.
Oh. Yeah, they see the 3 heroes defending bottom lane from Jules, and it's like, okay, let's try and catch out whoever we can at mid. That's where you almost, I feel like Blink Dagger's better on Rubik than the Force stuff because you're so dependent on positioning as a Rubik to steal spells, to get those pickoffs with telekinesis. Blink Dagger generally the preferred item for Rubik compared to Force Staff. Force Staff is always great for saving teammates though, as we saw a few times this game.
After Lecals finishes up this mana style, he needs to pick up a gem. I'm just saying right now, they need to be able to, 1, make sure that MineNski doesn't see everything across the map, and 2, they need to know when Weaver's jumping in and out. The illusions, of course, carry the true side effect too, so you can then de-wall without putting yourself at any kind of risk. But someone needs to buy it. Put it on him and just go to absolute town. And then Weaver's going to have his space completely and utterly shut down.
He can still prevent himself getting ensnared, I guess, with the Lincolns, but it gets a lot tougher for him. And that's where he went for the BKB as well as the Lincolns. He wants all the survivability he can get. Probably goes back towards a damage item, but he could even consider getting a Heart of TobiWan just to keep himself alive. Because, like you say, Naga Siren, very annoying to do. And then with the Heart of TobiWan, you can push a lane, take a lot of damage, back off, and just heal it up using that heart regen.
We're going to get our answer finally to what the Bristleback's going to build into, and looks like you get to take home the brownie.
If it's not BKB or Heart of TobiWan, I'd be surprised.
You're fine, man.
He's got buckle. He hasn't bought anything yet.
Oh, he has.
Oh, there we go. Oh, he has. Okay.
Courier.
Ah. I was clicking the hero. I'm like, he's got nothing on stash. He's sitting on like 4,000 gold.
The Courier holds the secrets of the universe, man.
We're good.
Oh. Well, MineNski, once that's up and running, in fact, there you go, flag's up on your screen now. They've got a lot of power to fight. They can even fight, I think, head-to-head with MitH.Trust. That's where I feel like their potential is right now. Even with Naga Siren ulti, maybe MitH.Trust can get a nicer position during the team fight, but they're not going to be able to win out.
This Dragon Knight item pickup is purely designed at being able to gank the Weaver with it. Doing so is not going to be easy though. Oh, the Song got used. He Song spot him, hoping to catch up Jules, but Jules had already backed off. The rest of MitH.Trust were hoping maybe that they could get a pick off there, but they're not going to find it at bottom lane. Song now on cooldown.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real big problem too, because you can see that Invoker makes a beeline straight for the mid. This is MineNski going, all right, no Song with the Siren. They can't get the better positioning on us. We've just picked up the heart on the Bristleback, so he's looking very, very tanky on the front lines. We have Leshrac even with, like, you got 4-stars galore from these guys. Ruby's walking around with an ultimate orb, building into a side device. They can go high ground, and they know it. The big thing, though, is keeping that creep wave alive while the Desolator effect stays on the tower, and look at it just go. That tower's already pretty low. EMP Tornado, it's going to go on Lakels. He's low on mana effect, so is Timbersaw. He's completely and utterly burnt out.
Yep.
So their mirror images pop.
Longer. The Song was just on cooldown a bit longer, so they can't use that to engage in. This is where they can siege high ground. Heart of Tarrasque is actually a really good high ground sieging item, because you go up, you get the tower, and you take a lot of damage to do so, but you just heal all that damage back up over time with the heart.
So you heal that up, and then Weaver's like, well, I don't really care about taking damage anyway. I take too much, I time-lapse it back out again. Then you're still running a couple of urn charges. Actually, no, the urn charges, it looks like they're all expended.
Well, now they work on the Raxes, and it's up to MitH.Trust.
Jump in nicely from DK, using that Blink Dagger of his. Invoker 4-starred in. He'll get one Tornado off before dying, but then buys back into the game. He'll have to TP and walk himself back out to his teammates. In the meantime, Rubik, he'll die a little bit further down. Jumped out, big whirling death coming out. It's a triple kill for Lakels, an ultra kill for Lakels, and they're going to try and go for the whole kit and caboodle. Weaver, they need to lock him, they got him!
What a team fight from MitH.Trust. I think the big thing there is MineNski had not seen the Blink Dagger. I wanted to talk about it at bottom, but DK never even showed himself. He was hiding in the trees and everything, and they immediately kill the Invoker. Then he goes onto the Bristleback one by one. They just try their best to ignore the Weaver. They say, Weaver's got a BKB Lincoln. He's going to kill a Shadow Demon maybe. He'll kill a Lina maybe, but we'll win the team fight. And MitH.Trust come out on top, killing 4, only losing, I think, the Lina there. And Lina even like buy back? Yeah, Lina fought back in that fight.
Yeah, that's expensive, man. Lina and Invoker were the two ones to pull back, but now MitH.Trust, they're going to try and go high ground. Lakels has no mana whatsoever again. EMP is really keeping him low, but MitH.Trust, you know what they want? It's at least a tier 3 tower here. If they can take Rax, they'll go for it. Naga's ulti off cooldown. It's only got another 5 seconds, and it looks like MitH.Trust aren't going to take any kind of risk here. Weaver pulled back in. They want to back up quickly and smartly for something on the map.
That's their opening back into this game. Getting those kills there, that helps out. It's not even, like the Naga Siren didn't need the help. It was the Dragon Knight, the Timbersaw, and even the supports who from a fight like that suddenly have a lot of farm. Your Dragon Knight can start thinking about an Assault Caress, your Timbersaw, whatever he wants to get.
Really? I like it, but not as much as like, I don't know. Up against a Weaver, it's just, no.
Oh, which item are you talking about?
Timbersaw.
Okay.
Like, I know what he wants to try and stop from happening, which is, I'm pretty sure he showed it before. It's no club, so you talk about like a BKB potential.
It could also be Halberd, I guess. Both
could be.
Probably. I think the BKB is a little better just because you can engage into all the like stunts and lockdowns.
All the Lakels. Lincoln Spear's already triggering. Throw the ulti out. The question is, they want to initiate. Look at that grouping. That grouping is really, really bad here for MineNski, but there's no follow-through. Light Strike Array instantly hits on top of Vash, but then in comes the DK. BKB's already been popped off from him. They're looking still for that kill on the Bristleback. They need more damage, and now in comes Weaver. Look at Jules. He is so big, and BK beat up. They take 2 heroes already, and we're going to lose a 3rd one right now here for MitH.Trust. So after MineNski have possibly the worst fight they could have had.
Tarrasque.
Oh, they're going to get another one. They're going in deeper. Tornado's off target, but with a oh, he missed uphill.
He's got it anyways.
Yeah, Chikuchi down. Nice disruption. Oh, you want to work for your supper right there. 4-star pin, Faithful through. Telekinesis, they might even get the bigger enchilada. It's over to AABBAA.
Naga's not buying back. Naga Siren, who just bought the Heart of Taras, cannot buy back, and Mineski are on the high ground. They're going for Raxes at bottom lane.
This is game, man.
They can swing mid, they can go for tier 4s, they can go for the throne if they really want to. They've got a good minute with Naga dead, Dragonite dead as well.
This is, man, this is double raxing. This is double raxing to keep it safe. Yeah, look at him move over. Without the tier 3 tower, it may even be more than double raxing. They can take the double melee racks and then go for tier 4 towers, which is what I think they should do.
I think they go on top. Yeah.
Oh.
Tier 4 towers are just hard to bring down slow, and like you kill the tier 4s and you don't kill the throne, there's no point killing the tier 4s. So they're going to go for the third set of rack. They want the mega creeps, and there's still 40 seconds on this Naga.
It's too long.
It looks like it's
too long.
GG.
Look at Rubik. He's got 5 charges of poison on him. That was never going to end well for him. But the top range racks is gone, the bottom range racks is gone, the mid is full mega creeps up against MitH.Trust, and we have a pause to consider the life universe and everything.
Yeah, Timbersaw disconnects here, but it's mega creeps. There's like one in some 10,000 plus games where you ever come back from mega creeps.
Yeah, but normally there's like something that really plays out for you if you're going
a Divine Rapier gyrocopter type thing.
Yeah, or like the full-on team fight, control everything, like 5-man hole into like 9. No,
Naga Siren's not the type of heroes to deal with mega creeps. When you play the split pushing Naga Siren, you want all 3 lanes always pushed out past the river.
Yeah,
you're fighting mega creeps. All 3 creep waves are always pounding on your base, which is not what Naga Siren wants to be up against. You're not applying pressure. You're always defending. Naga Siren's not a defend lane series. It's a like be annoying, creep skip, do other shenanigans. That's
shenanigans are completely shut down, man. There will be no shenanigans from Naga in this game anymore.
They're going to play this one out, but it looks like it's possibly all over for MitH.Trust. There is a loser bracket waiting for the loser of this match. Both teams guaranteed top 3. Winner of this goes to the grand finals. Loser of it will drop down to the loser bracket, and we'll have to see if MitH.Trust have what it takes to turn this around from mega creeps.
Oh, I'm very skeptical.
I'm not. Yeah.
The nicest way to talk about this right now is to be very, very skeptical. Because MitH.Trust, they're locked inside their base. It would take like a throw greater than that a certain American team that can be said their name in 2 letters. Like, if that happens, then Mineski will have to answer to their fans later on tonight. For the reasons why this game went just completely wrong for them. But now they have an Aegis the Immortal over on a Weaver, who should also be picking up his next tier 3 item. And in fact, it is, hello.
These items are just ridiculous. Like your Invoker picks up a Hex, your Bristleback is going to be picking up a Shiva's Guard in a second. And then MitH.Trust, what do these heroes have? Naga Siren has items, everyone else, nothing.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. 4-star, in for the stun. They've got to kill off Invoker quickly, and they got him. They got him quick. And they got him down, and Invoker has no buyback. It's still on cooldown for another minute or so.
He just bought his Hex, but MitH.Trust can't push. They have to push out creep.
They got Lina, man. They got Lina. Lina is like the queen of like holding against Megas.
These other Myth heroes, though, have got to wait for the creep wave to push out, which is not really happening.
Oh, you are not going to be doing what I think you're going to be trying to do there, Lashrak. No,
the Lincoln's cast on his teammate.
He can just do it by himself. It's the ultimate thing. He can solo up against Lina. And in fact, I think he can actually win this game solo. Now, Ensnare attempted, but Lincoln Sphere protects on Rubik. So we have double Lincolns up here for Mineski. They've got to pick up Vash. He's a long way up, trying to fight up against the DK with a Sharker in there too. Lakels comes back out of it. The Edict is down for the moment. The tier 4 towers are being sieged up by MitH.Trust, but they need to get kills quickly. And now a jump in from DK. Again, the Lincoln Sphere triggers. BKB TP's back. They can't cancel the DK, but they can cancel the Naga Siren. Now his Lincoln Sphere is going to go off, and then Lakels picked up, throwing down Rubik. Nice timber chain through Naga. Rolly way too short. The pulse was still there from the Lashrak, but there's still the cutting up of the Timbersaw. And he will, however, lose his own life. The buyback comes from the Bristleback, and maybe there's enough heroes on the sideline now with both Naga and Timbersaw dead for at least another minute.
That was it. That was the last hurrah.
GG.
GG. MitH.Trust down to the loser bracket. There you go. Mineski, probably the favorite or one of the favorites with Titan coming into this tournament are in the grand final. I don't think people will be surprised by that, but they've had to work to get there.
Yeah.
They've had 3 tough matches, and they probably had the hardest bracket.
Yeah.
StarTale in the first round, Titan in the second round, MitH.Trust in the winner bracket final. That is a tough bracket to get through.
You can say it's a deserved grand final position right now. And you're right, man. I almost kind of wish that we had all 3 of these matches as our semi-final, our lower bracket final, as well as our grand final.
MineSki also get a big advantage in the grand final because the way it's played, they get a full best-of-3 advantage on that last game. The team from the loser bracket has to win 2 best-of-3s in a row. So it's like a proper double elimination tournament.
Oh, man. That's a lot of hard work right there.
Yeah. Like, whoever comes out of the loser bracket, it's like, oh, we got to beat MineSki not once in the best-of-3, twice.
Because you could find yourself that if you played that many games, you could find yourself playing a grand total of also through the lower bracket. And because I think it's you got 3 best-of-3.
No, the grand final's Sunday.
Grand final, so it's just the grand finals.
Just the grand finals on Sunday.
In that case, we don't have to freak out.
Tomorrow we have
9 games in a row.
We've had 5 teams knocked out today. We started with 9 teams, and day 1, 5 of them are gone.
Yeah. Man,
we can maybe take a look at our brackets and see what's going on. But
yeah, I would love to. I'd love to do that. So if we can have our wonderful man on the side,
I believe StarTale they knocked out first departure. So StarTale are one of the final 4 teams.
I know they started their game up when this game started.
And then it was Titan versus the Indonesian team RRQ for the other loser bracket semi-final. So I believe if Titan win that, we get Titan versus StarTale, and then winner of that versus MitH.Trust is in our loser bracket. But
I want to bring it up. It looks like some of the results still aren't fully in. So.
I'm getting nods.
You're getting nods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toby's got the bracket.
So at least I got.
We can cut to your screen.
Let's look.
Look at this one.
You can. It's a wonderful website I'm looking at right now. Check it out. It's my website. Yeah. But it's definitely.
I'll get the Liquipedia up for the tournament. We'll look at that instead, Toby.
Oh, that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. No. But that's actually not.
Any of your favorite community
there
websites.
There we go. It's up on our screen right now. So as you can see, MitH.Trust will advance themselves through.
StarTale apparently won their match against First Departure. That was, or at least according to
that was
a few websites.
That was from the nod. Which means we would have.
I think Titan's maybe playing right now.
Titan would be the clear favorites coming into that one. So if we go with if you're betting rares, then you have StarTale versus Titan, and then the winner of that matchup plays tomorrow up against MitH.Trust, and then the winner of that plays a grand final coming up on Sunday. So a lot of great Dota.
I mean, let's give a day off as well.
Oh, relaxing.
Tomorrow it's like let's just watch the other teams, or let's go to Wild Wild Wet next door. They can celebrate tomorrow.
It is nice and hot in here in Singapore, so why not? Why not do it, people?
No.
But of course, we're going to have ourselves a nice break. We're going to have a bit of a munch, and we'll come back tomorrow, refresh and ready to rock and rumble. We do have one last thing to say. If you didn't see it at the start of the game, the Pub Stomp and LAN Party is coming up later on, 27th and 28th. It goes from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m.
Starts in 2 hours. So.
It starts in 2 hours. So if you're a night owl here in Singapore, come on down.
Yeah, you get full night of gaming, playing all kinds of games, winning prizes as well, which are up for grabs. So
yeah,
check it out.
If we didn't have to work the next day, we'd be there the whole night.
Yeah.
But we're gonna sleep. So
I think that's it.
Thanks for watching. Later, people.